We've got more open doubles action for you down on table number 1 in the round of 64. That's Mike Kyriss in the forward position, Collen Cole at goal out of California. Over on the left, 4-time Hall of Fame Classic Open Doubles champions Ryan Moore and Bobby Diaz. And certainly they will be in the mix for the championship again here this weekend. Kyriss able to stub that one home to open up the scoring here in this first game. That's 3 games out of 5, with the winner advancing to the round of 32. Ryan shot attempt as he opens up this match, going to the snake shot. And Kyriss now gives his team a 2-0 lead. Moore aggressively walking the snake and then drills that far side. Ryan Moore, when he is aggressive, when he is walking that thing, doing it in that Ryan Moore style, the body language suggests aggressiveness. He is a deadly shooter. And of course, the pull shot series isn't bad either. I think Ryan Moore definitely in today's game has certainly a top 2 or 3 snake shot and a top 2 or 3 pull shot. And some might think he has the best of each of them. That one up the table by Cole off Kyriss' 3-rod and in. It's 3-1. Rob Diaz, of course, the Hall of Famer, one of the great goalies of all time. This is a team that has won 3 world championships together. Mentioned that they had won 4 Hall of Fame Classic Open Doubles championships. Diaz looking to pass, gets it up the table where it's picked up by Moore, and it's 3-2. Kyriss can't hold on to it. It comes back to Ryan, who goes smoothly through the high lane. And Collen able to knock it down and take it away. Collen Cole, young player out of Southern California. That one blocked back into the goal by Moore. It's 3-3. Speaking of Hall of Famers, and of course the man back there in the SpongeBob cap is a member of the United States Table Soccer Hall of Fame. Truly one of the greats of all time, especially from the goalie position. But tonight will be the Hall of Fame ceremony. 3 new inductees going into the Hall, including the great Louis Cartwright, King Louis, who has been spending a lot of time up here in the booth watching matches and will be competing today. Kevin Keeter, world champion from the 80s, early 90s. And Marty Chase, player from the tournament soccer era. Kyriss looking to give his team the lead, and he does as he strokes home that pull shot. For a 3 lead for Kyriss and Cole. And Mike gets a piece of the pass, comes back to Collen, who will call time out. Mike Kyriss switching back to the goalie position, puts that pull shot on goal. Picked up here by Moore. Ryan sticks it through the lane. Shooting against Kyriss. And it's 4-4 as Ryan comes back down the middle. A lot of it is the versatility of that 3-rod of Ryan Moore's. He can hit those inside holes off of several different sets after several different kinds of fakes. Ryan now can give his team a 1-0 lead as he sets it up against Cole. Moore walks it. Shot attempt blocked up into the air and off the table. Nice work there from Collen Cole. Looking at the numbers up to that last time out. Ryan Moore 3 for 5, or rather 3 for 9 passing the ball. And just 2 for 6 shooting. Diaz. Mike Kyriss 2 for 7 passing. 3 for 3 so far shooting the ball against Bobby Diaz, the Hall of Fame goalie. Well, one thing you know about Diaz, he will make adjustments. He doesn't know Mike Kyriss. Has never probably seen him play. So he's going to get some reads. And hold on a minute. We'll talk about that one. Diaz asking for the jar. Kyriss and Cole saying no jar there. That means Collen Cole will put the ball back into play. The one thing you don't want to do with Ryan Moore and Bobby Diaz, you don't want to poke the bear, you know what I mean. You don't want to give them any extra juice to use against you. Diaz along the outside wall. Cole. Angles that one up. Knocked back by Moore to his partner, Bob Diaz. Bobby has been known to hit some big shots, hit the World Championship winning pull kick at last year's event in Lexington. Usually it's a pull kick. Occasionally the pull shot. Ryan does go down that high lane here. Looking to put away game number 1, Ryan Moore. Shot near side, taken away by Collen. And that one knocked in on the rebound by Kyriss, and it's 1-0. Second game underway, 1-0 lead for Mike Kyriss and Collen Cole. Looking at the first game numbers, Ryan Moore, 5 for 11 passing, 45%, just 33% shooting the ball, 3 for 9, and credit Collen Cole with some nice defense. Nice pickup here by Moore. Diaz clearing at 60%, including 3 second chances, and there's Ryan aggressively to that corner to open up the scoring here in game number 2. Bobby put a shot on goal and was 1 for 4, passing it to his partner, Ryan Moore. Mike Kyriss, just 2 for 9 passing, 22%. He was, however, 3 for 3 in that first game shooting the ball. And that one drilled far side. It's 2-0. Also had that defensive score. Collen Cole clearing at 75%. He's put a couple of shots on goal. Ryan Moore and Bobby Diaz, and kind of as expected, have come out to quickly get the first 2 goals of this second game. Kyriss, first time Diaz has gotten in the way of one of Mike's pull shots. He's now 3 for 4, and Diaz takes it away. Bobby, a guy who will pitch in offensively here and there, and especially in big situations. But he does all the other things just so well. Contains everything in his area, blocks all the slop, passes well, clears at a high percentage. understands about tempo and pacing and controlling that end of things. And that's why Bobby Diaz, in many people's minds, is perhaps the greatest goalie that we've ever seen here on the Tornado table. And certainly all those world championships, both with Ryan Moore and then Terry Moore back in the 90s, when he and Terry were the team of the 90s. And certainly a case could be made for Ryan Moore and Bobby Diaz being the team of the 2010s, I suppose. And back with a pull kick comes Moore. It's 3-0. The other team in the running probably for the team of the 2010s would be Tony Spredeman and Robert Mares, who have won, I believe, 3 world championships together. And that one's going to get through Cole. It's 4-0. Mike and Collen have to be careful that this one doesn't get away from them. Well, the thing about Ryan Moore, and we see it time and time again, he can seemingly turn it on when he wants to. You would never, ever teach anyone or train anyone to lay back and it'll come when it comes, and you can turn it on and off when you want to, because most people cannot. And there's Diaz from goal, closing out game number 2. It's 1 game apiece. Third game underway. Kyriss gets it moving slowly and taps it through the lane. Not a lot of defensive effort there from Moore. Bob Diaz will now defend against Mike Kyriss. Try to come down the middle, taken away by Diaz. And we talk about it all the time with Bobby as the match goes on. He makes the adjustments. Really, the goal shrinks. The holes shrink. Or seemingly at times there aren't any holes left in the Diaz defense. He continues to isolate down to what your strengths and tendencies are. Looking at the stats through 2 games, Ryan Moore, 42%. He was just 0 for 1 passing the ball in that last game. It didn't need to pass the ball. Didn't have a lot of opportunities, but it was a 5-0 very quick win. 6 of 13 shooting it through to get 2 games. This one blocked by Cole. Diaz clearing at 71%. A couple of shots on goal, and of course the 1 goal to close out game number 2. Mike Kyriss, 29% passing. Now 60% shooting the ball after going 0 for 2 in that last game. And he has missed his first couple of shots here in this game as well. Cole clearing 63%. That's solid, and he's put a couple of shots on goal. Ryan looking for the early lead here in game number 3. Moore sitting, tapping, and stroking it home to that far side. I saw Ryan do that a few times yesterday, where he just sits, hovers over the ball, then taps and goes. And it is not only a difficult shot to execute, but Ryan makes it look kind of easy. Kyriss trying to find his groove once again. But Diaz able to make the block. Nice grab there as Kyriss flipped the man over to grab it. Getting a second chance, and he takes advantage, stroking home the long pull shot. 1-1. 1-1 in games, 1-1 in score. Collen Cole. Right, a push kick, blocked back towards his goal. Collen again. Sends that one up the table. Kyriss able to reel it in. Misfires on the first effort. He'll set it up here. And stroke it home. With a recoil. It's 2-1. Well, Kyriss and Cole competing here with the 4-time Hall of Fame Classic champions. They're even at a game apiece. And lead 2-1. And now make it 2-2. Is Ryan able to convert? And stroking it home here to make it 3-2, 2 in a row from Ryan Moore. Kyriss. Diaz makes the block and takes it away. Pass near side, blocked, then poked forward from the 5 to the 3 of Ryan Moore. Moore looking to get a good set. Finally does, and then goes with the standard pin shot far side. Is there anything that guy can't do? I think the answer to that is no. And a chance to win game number 3 right here. Blocked by Cole. It hops to the 5 of Kyriss. A 4-2 lead here in the third game for Ryan Moore and Bobby Diaz. Here goes Ryan. Standard grip. Try to take it out to the far side. And a timeout called here by Cole. Collen Cole will put the ball back into play. Rather Mike Kyriss, who has stepped back there. Mike has a good pull shot back here. I think that's what we're looking at. Looking at him shooting a long pull shot. Cole able to grab it on the 3-rod will bring Mike back to the forward position. Put back into play by Mike Kyriss. And he strokes it home, so nicely done there. Kyriss clears it. Cole grabs it, calls the timeout to bring Mike back to forward, and he's cut the lead to 1. It's now 4-3. Another chance here for Moore. If Ryan goes with the snake shot this time. Still with a standard grip. And now to the snake. Back to the standard grip, and then the timeout. Ryan Moore will put the ball back into play. Looking to win game number 3. As he walks it, strokes it, scores it, it's 2-1. Game number 4 quickly underway. Moore blocked the Kyriss pass, then Kyriss was able to steal it from Moore, and he'll set it up looking to strike first here in the 4th. And he strokes home that long pull shot. Ryan Moore will be facing Tony Spredeman, big surprise, in the winner's bracket final of open singles. That could be later today. I'm assuming it will be. Rare turnover here from Diaz. Kyriss. Trying to bring it slowly across and hit off of Diaz, man, and then rolled in. Kind of an odd play there on both sides of the ball. An odd shot, followed up by sort of a slow reaction from a guy who has very quick ones in Bob Diaz. It's 2-0. Check the numbers through 3 games. Ryan Moore, 10 of 19, 53%, 52% shooting. So those numbers about where you'd expect them to be. Diaz clearing 78%, and it's 14 of 18. It includes 3 second chances or rebounds. So he basically has ended up clearing 14 out of the 15 times he's had the ball. He's also passed 2 out of 5 and scored 1. And up the table and in here for Kyriss and Cole. They're up 3-0. Mike Kyriss, 7 of 21 passing, that's 33%. He has shot it well through those first 3 games, and now that shooting percentage is going to go up a little bit from the 46% through 3. He's probably up at about 50% now. Although one of those certainly was probably a break. Cole clearing at 61%. And has defended Ryan pretty well. You can hold Ryan to under, say, 50%, somewhere in there or lower. You're doing pretty well. This is a guy who's fully capable of putting up big-time numbers and has. Mike Kyriss. Tried to come down the middle with a nice block there by Dio. Now it's going to squirt through to Ryan. Moore. Tried to come straight down the middle, and Cole got a man on it. Calling off that inside wall. And we're going to talk about this one. There isn't any chance that Diaz and Moore are going to give it to him, is there?
That's not going to even. I don't know. I think so. I think I got you better. I think you guys are a couple of bitches. That's all I got to say. Yeah. A couple of bitches. A couple of fucking bitches. It was like both of them. A couple of bitches. So you're going to take that? You're going to take that? I think eye for eye. That's not for an eye for eye. You cheat you. You cheated us. Well, that's not your opinion. You're partying on that. No.
Steve, table number 20 for the top handles.
You know what? Everybody here saw that you just cheated. So you go ahead. I think it's. Everybody here knows you're a fucking cheater. Everybody here saw the game. Everybody knows you're cheated. Right? You might give you one more. You might give you
Kenny Rivera, Justin Shaw, Stacey Guy, Shelly Lambert, table number 24.
I was there looking at the score. I'm glad I could have found that. Order can count, right?
Women's doubles. April Rivera, Hannah Smith in the middle, table number 28.
We'll let that speak for itself, I suppose. No ref at the table, it's often hard to tell. It's a judgment call. Most of the time, these things are self-regulated. But again, you don't want to poke the bear. You don't want to wake up Ryan Moore and Bob Diaz. And you have woken up Ryan Moore if you're Mike Kyriss and Collen Cole. Mike Kyriss in particular. Pretty good chance that both of the jars that are being alluded to were jars. Certainly felt that last one was, and pretty certain that Kyriss did jar the pass earlier. Well, the interesting thing is they're not electing to get an official here. Ryan with renewed energy. Looks like he's going to shoot the pull shot. Moore with a John Wayne. 3-2. Kyriss strokes home the pull shot. Make it 4-2. Big shot there from Mike. Moore and Diaz seemingly unfazed by the dialogue. Here's Ryan. Try to come down the middle, blocked and taken away by Cole. Then you'll call timeout. Collen Cole will put the ball back into play. Cole fires that one up the table. Rebound caroms to the 5 of Moore. It's 4-2 here in game number 4 in favor of Kyriss and Cole. And it's got a little chippy here on table number 1, to use a hockey term. Back to the pull shot for Ryan. Fakes the John Wayne, goes with the traditional straight. If he follows that up with a John Wayne. Nope, went with a long. Cole with a block. Unfortunately for Collen, it comes right back to Moore. And that fake and then long pull shot go wide. And up the table and in, and we are tied at 2 games apiece.
You are. You are the champ.
I'm good. I don't want this ball.
That's okay, because you are the champ. Well, next to Tony.
And what's your name again?
Tony's a real.
What's your biggest
real
title?
Man.
Are you even happy to be playing in the pits? Because you never get to otherwise.
I've been here plenty of times.
Yeah.
Not with you.
What, 10 years ago? Yeah. Maybe 15.
8 years ago. So far. Yeah.
So far. Enjoy
But I don't play.
Enjoy the moment.
I don't even practice. I don't even fucking
Be happy
practice.
you can be in
Where
the
are you
pits.
at?
I don't practice either.
He's talking to me. What's that? We both guard? I've been corrected. I jarred. I'm sorry. So we're both cheaters. Sorry if I cheated you guys.
All right, ready? Ready?
What game is this?
5th.
15 by 2?
Yep. Ready?
Okay.
Here we go, 5th game underway. Ryan Moore will have the first scoring opportunity. That long pull shot blocked by Cole, who really has played well. Collen, through all of this, has been pretty consistent, and that one up the table and in. It's 1-0. Back comes Ryan. And he strokes that one home. Along the wall goes Kyriss. Really what you need to do, just play foosball. You're playing well. It's not get involved with all that other stuff if you don't need to, and you really don't. And frankly, both jars were probably jars. And you knew there was no way that Diaz and Moore were going to give one. And I think we're going to get an official. Rick Macias has been brought in to officiate the match. Better late than never, I suppose, but certainly a match that should have had a ref probably quite early on, and especially after a couple of things that have happened. We're tied up at 1 here in the 5th game. Ryan shooting the pull shot, and there's the John Wayne. So hard to stay home on that shot. And now Diaz is going to talk a little. Diaz starting to get a little edgy here.
No, I know. You are the master. I know. You're both masters. We're nobodies.
I agree.
We're nobodies.
I agree with you.
It shouldn't have gotten this far. I've been fouled. I'm not talking shit.
Be real still.
Mike Kyriss will put it into play on the 5, trailing 2-1 here in the 5th game. Kyriss doesn't execute. Ryan Moore does through the high lane. Setting it up against Collen, who has stayed out of the fray, to his credit. Just playing foosball. Moore. Again. By John Wayne.
That one hurt more, didn't it? You got quiet now. You keep talking anymore.
Versus Red, New York, and Charles, husband, table 56. Isino and Cerruti versus Nguyen and husband, table 56.
Got shot down the table by Cole. Now 3-1 as Moore and Diaz back in control of what has been a somewhat out of control match at times. Most of it due to off the table antics. Shot on goal by Diaz, picked up here by Cole.
Table 26.
Pass here by Diaz. Comes back to Cole. Kyriss. As it knocked down, almost stolen, and it is stolen by a hustling Ryan Moore. It's match point.
It gets quiet in here when this starts. You feel it?
I feel it. You feel the energy? It's about time you guys acted like
You
you're
feel
in.
the energy right now.
You guys are awesome.
What happened? You gave up?
No, I didn't give up.
Did you quit?
Where did you say I quit?
It seems like you hit 3 of them.
You want to call time?
Oh no, last one out a long time ago earlier.
Oh, yeah.
No idea.
Yeah.
Next guy calls me a bitch, he's gonna get punched in the face.
Let's go.
Don't ever call me a bitch.
Let's go.
Go.
Don't play like one. I won't call you.
Call me when it's in. George. Okay.
Let's play.
You got
Ready?
pain from me.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Surprised it took Bobby that long, frankly. That's the match. Wasn't pretty. Not going to be any handshakes, so there will be there. That's it. And that's it.